As 2026 began, we enjoyed summer in New Zealand.
We spent our first month traveling the North Island and our second month roaming the South Island in a camper van.
Along the way, we met amazing people, witnessed spectacular landscapes, and observed unique wildlife.
In this episode, we explore Rotorua, visit national parks in Ohakune and New Plymouth, and enjoy many awesome sights along the way.
On our first full day in Rotorua, we went to the nearby Whakarearea, the living Maori village, to learn more about the culture and day-to-day life.
Okay, so these boards behind me talk a bit about the history of our village. Starting with this one talks about tourism in New Zealand.
Rotorua and this whole region exists on top of a large caldera. As a result, there are geothermal features everywhere, including geysers, hot springs, mud pots, and heated lakes.
This also means that the smell of sulfur is everywhere.
Around 40 to 45 people living here, around 21 homes. We count that as 20.
The village uses the thermal energy to cook their food, heat their homes, and wash themselves and their clothes.
The channel on that side of the pool goes into the bathing area. If you don't want to bathe in meat or come out smelling of fish, so none of those are cooked in this pool. Now, that sulphur smell, you've probably smelt it while you've been through our town. Does it taint the flavour of the food? Well, you can all be the judge of that. My cousin over here has prepared you all some corn. You can line up and sample some food cooked in our hot form. Now, corn takes about 10 minutes from frozen. I like boiled eggs, so I leave eggs in here for around 6 minutes. That way they're still running on the inside.
You ready?
Yeah.
Gonna put it on the picnic bench.
What my ancestors brought on their canoes when they came to New Zealand were the kumara, the kuri and the kiore. This is the sweet potato, the dog and the rats. And we ate all three. Now the sweet potato, I'm sure you've tried it before. It's very yum, we brought it to eat. Okay everybody, so this pool over here is called Waikourua. So Waikourua means two waters.
Good. Here we attended our second cultural performance, celebrating and sharing some of the Maori traditions, including the integration with European cultures.
My name is Hein and I will be your host for today. Now, kia ora is our informal greeting, which could simply mean hello, welcome, thank you, goodbye, and various other things.
I guess. I walk. After our visit to the living Maori village, we drove a short way to see the California redwood trees that New Zealand planted to replace some of the trees lost to deforestation.
We took the redwood tree walk, which was a nervous kind of fun. I managed my issues with the height, and Mishka dealt with the bouncy and swinging movement of the paths. It started raining just as we finished the walk, so we headed back to our cabin for the rest of the day.
The next morning, we headed into the city center to get a prescription refilled, then to visit a kiwi nursery to see some kiwis, especially the chicks.
Unfortunately, after driving out to the agro center, we learned that they were sold out for the day. So instead, we headed to a place called Skyline, which had a gondola ride up to the entertainment area with concrete luge runs, biking and hiking trails, zip lines, a big swing ride, and a great view of the caldera from above.
We had lunch and took a hike before riding the gondola back down. Ramps for the mountain bikers. That's pretty adventurous. After Skyline, we drove back into the city center and explored the area on foot for a few hours. We loved seeing the mix of the city with the natural surroundings.
Mishka was excited that we found Eat Street, a well-known collection of restaurants and cafes. We made our way over to the local tourism information building, what Mishka referred to as that pretty building. This was a great way to wrap up our stay in Rotorua.
The next day we hit the road again, this time heading toward Ohakune. Our first stop on this journey was to see the Huka Falls, about 45 minutes away.
This is a section of the Waikato River that narrows from hundreds down to 45 feet in width through a volcanic gorge. The water appears turquoise blue through this gorge due to the air bubbles being forced into the stream. The falls at the end are spectacular as the width expands and the color fades. We learned that there are two ways to say the name of this area. The Maori pronunciation is Taupo, while the anglicized version is Taupo. This type of thing happened frequently on our trip, and we did the best we could to get the pronunciations right. On our way to Ohakune, we drove around Taupo Lake and stopped to see lots of interesting sights, including Steaming Cliffs, which was a new one for us. We also stopped for a while at the Tongariro National Park Visitor Center. We stayed at the LKNZ Lodge in Ohakune. It was raining when we arrived and remained cool and cloudy the rest of that day.
Raining and raining and raining.
Supposed to be a view of a mountain somewhere. Bathrooms inside. Yeah, right. The next day was gorgeous.
We drove into Tongariro National Park via the Mangawero Mountain Road.
He doesn't take green bags because that's part of everything.
Oh, if they take them, we will not be in the United States
After a break for lunch and to recharge our camera batteries,
No,
we went for an
motorcycle.
afternoon hike along the Mungafera River Walk.
Obviously no horses. Is that motorcycles or mountain bikes? How can you tell the difference?
Motorcycle.
Yeah, so none.
And that's biking.
Okay. Biking's okay.
So our
20-minute walk? Oh, it's so pretty. Died after eating the plant choo-choo and was buried in this area. Aw, poor Molly. Only 13. Oh, that was a long time ago. That was before we were even born. But still.
We walked back into the national park and picked up the Mungafero Forest Trail, which included the Rimu Trail loop, highlighting huge Rimu trees. These trails were amazing.
We hiked back into town and grabbed dinner before returning to our room. We got to watch the Ruapeo Mountain from our room while the sun set. It was beautiful.
The next morning we arose bright and early to drive to Pipikiri for a jet boat tour on the Whanganui River and the Bridge to Nowhere in Whanganui National Park.
So we're here right now. Take the boat all the way up to the National Park. National Park. Yep, that's the river. And we're just there. Oh, barely. Our guide and jet boat driver, Murray, had a lot to do beyond just getting us up and down the river. He was amazing and very, very funny.
So what the plan is we're going to go up the river. On the way up the river, I'm going to talk to you guys about canoeing. I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of riverboats and the river. The Whanganui River and 8 other rivers that feed into it. And they take that water and put it through 2 tunnels, through a 19-kilometre long tunnel, 2 lakes and a canal, and the water ends up in Lake Taupo, all for power generation.
Blast. We stopped at the Bridge to Nowhere Lodge where we enjoyed a spectacular view and learned the history of the region, including the story of the bridge and the valley.
Murray's job never seemed to be done as we collected a broken canoe from the river on our way back to Pipikiri. We really loved this experience and appreciated the new knowledge we gained, including how to pronounce
Whanganui.
Whanganui.
And we are heading out on to our next stop. Let us away. The next morning we headed to New Plymouth. We made numerous stops along the way, starting with North Mole, the point where the Whanganui River feeds into the Tasman Sea. The winds emphasized the rough seas that tend to exist here. Even the seagulls were hunkered down.
Our next stop was the Taranaki National Park in Mount Egmont. This drive was crazy as we saw the mountain from all angles from many miles away. It is nearly a perfect cone-shaped volcano, so it really stands out.
Yeah. Yeah. Mount Taranaki and Egmont National Park. We hiked the Veronica Loop Trail. The clouds started rolling in as we got started, changing the day from cool and sunny to cloudy and drizzly with lots of wind. We turned around a little early due to the high winds and a very exposed stretch. Still, it was a nice hike and we could see the town of New Plymouth below us. That wind is really going crazy. You don't think it's any safer to go any further up?
I'd rather not.
All right.
But I think it's a good shot to get the clouds passing in front of the
Mountain.
just to get an idea of how.
Yeah.
I don't think you go up.
All right. I won't go far. He's worried about me. Here all the way across the boardwalk. That's good for you. I came all the way down.
We headed to our apartment next, and it was fantastic. We were perched over the Waifakahio River, and from the entry road we could still see Mount Egmont.
Unit number 7. Oh, it's quite lovely. Little kitchen. Huge bathroom. Love the view, but not of a mountain. That's her apartment. There's John. Hi, Floofy friend. How you guys doing? Doing all right? Hi. You're curious. You're so cute. Look at you. Hi, cutie pie. Yeah. Fluffy cuteness.
We took it easy the next morning, eventually heading to Te Rairea Bridge in New Plymouth. We waited patiently for some chances to get shots with the minimum number of people in them.
Oh, yeah. That's something, huh? After getting our shots, we then headed to Pukurukura Park to see where the Festival of Lights is held each year. We found a beautiful garden, walking paths, and the daylight view of the festival lights. Flamingos, not penguins. Sweet lady. So tranquil. And over there is bridge number 2. call that?
Batsman.
Yeah, but like a place where the batters have to go, you know,
Correct. They
home
have to-
plate,
yeah,
basically.
they stand in front of the wicket.
The wicket.
Our afternoon exploration continued with a walk along New Plymouth Walkway, where we appreciated the wind wand and lots of great views of the coast while we looked for nesting
On
penguins.
this side of the... Sadly, we didn't see any.
No.
Come back to this beach at the nighttime. Yeah. It's one of the places that they nest. The sign said, please don't mess with their nests and stuff like that. It's also
Thank you.
time of year where they're molting.
Yep.
We drove down the coast a bit more to the Paritutu Rock and captured some more shots of this amazing area before heading back to our room.
Join us on our next episode where we explore the sites between Napier and Wellington before heading to Christchurch on the South Island.